Welcome to the Reach for Reading Kindergarten On-Demand Training Assessment module. My name is Denise Detmar, National Educational Consultant for National Geographic Learning, and I am happy to assist you in this training session today. Our learning goals for today include understanding the assessment best practices and research, examining the various assessments in Reach for Reading Kindergarten, recognizing how each Reach for Reading assessment monitors students' progress and informs instruction, and also looking at the digital assessment resources for both teachers and students. Reach for Reading holds fast to a thematic plan and addresses grade level content standards in addition to foundational skills development, grade level reading, and language arts standards. In today's heterogeneous classrooms, monitoring progress is more important than ever. Research has long shown that teachers need to use assessment data to inform instructional planning and decision making. Author monographs tell how Reach for Reading incorporates best practices into the program. I suggest reading Sylvia Linen Thompson's monograph on assessment and intervention called Monitoring Progress to Reach Reading Goals. All monographs are found in the Best Practices and Routines Based on Research red brochure, and also on the Reach for Reading PD website that can be accessed through MyNG Connect under the Professional Development tab. The principle of using assessment to inform instruction has been more formally defined and organized in a system to help connect this critical research finding to the complex logistics of classroom teaching. Response to intervention describes a framework that promotes the use of successive cycles of assessment, instruction, and decision-making. Reach for Reading provides a variety of diagnostic, formative, and summative assessment tools that are available in print and digital formats. We will take a look at these in our session today. We'll be looking at the benchmark test, the reading placement test, the foundational skills tests, unit tests, student and class profiles, oral language rubrics, and the affective and metacognitive measures. Let's take a look at the benchmark assessment first. The benchmark tests measure proficiency in Common Core reading and writing skills. These tests can be administered periodically throughout the year. There are 3 forms of the test, and these are found in a separate benchmark test master's booklet and also online. The benchmark assessments are not timed, so proctors have the flexibility to lengthen or shorten the testing times based on the needs of their students. Testing may also be split into 2 sessions. Let's look at the different tests that are benchmark tests. The benchmark foundational skills test for each form includes 4 separate assessments: print concepts, word recognition, phonological awareness, and phonics. All tests are administered individually to each child. The benchmark reading test for each form has 4 passages, 2 literature passages, and 2 informational passages. Remember, these tests can be split into 2 sessions. The benchmark writing test for each form includes dictated alphabet letters and 3 writing prompts: opinion, explanatory, and narrative. These tests are group administered. As you can see here, the benchmark assessments also include answer keys and rubrics. These are also found in the benchmark assessment book or also online. The reading placement test assesses reading levels to place students in the appropriate leveled books during small group reading time. This placement test is provided with prompt cards so that teachers can place their students in the appropriate leveled groups. The test is available in print or online and is found under the Teacher Resources tab. The assessment handbook also includes the unit tests, the foundational skills tests, oral language rubrics, the affective and metacognitive measures, and the profiles and reports. In the beginning of the assessment handbook, there is an overview of assessment options for each unit. This is found on page T3 at Assessments and Tools at a Glance. The unit tests assess skills taught throughout the unit. At the end of each kindergarten unit, students have the opportunity to take assessments in foundational skills. This covers phonological awareness, phonics, and high-frequency words. An optional spelling test is also available. A reading comprehension test is also available in each unit of study, covering the skills and strategies that were taught during that unit. Profiles and reports help track progress and identify when students need reteaching. These are also great tools to share progress with each student's family. After the tests are scored, you can compile a student's results for all assessments in the student profile for that unit. By analyzing a student's score from this profile, you can determine where a student is making progress toward program goals. You can also see where teaching, reteaching, or intervention might be necessary. Personal interests and attitudes affect motivation, and motivation is an important factor in reading and writing performance. Teachers can help students make personal connections and think about their own learning through reflection with the personal surveys and inventories that are available. These materials are available as online PDFs and can be printed or projected easily on interactive whiteboards or other display devices. Affective and metacognitive measures provide regular opportunities for self-assessment and progress sharing. Multiple affective and metacognitive measures are found online and in the assessment handbook. This self-assessment helps you and your students think about and monitor learning. The metacognitive ability to monitor, evaluate, and adjust the processes a student uses while reading and writing is essential to becoming an effective reader and writer. Now that we have looked at some of the types of assessments available in Reach for Reading, let's take a look at the Teacher's Edition and how you can incorporate some of these resources into your instruction. The resources pages in the front of each unit show how the program is divided into whole group, leveled reading, learning station, and as you see here, assessment and planning through the assessment handbook and assessment masters. Reach for Reading shows all the skills broken down by week at a unit Skills at a Glance page. Assessment and reteaching skills and strategies are easily identified on the Skills at a Glance unit planner. Tested skills are denoted by red checked icons, and these are the most important skills to emphasize. On the weekly planner, Common Core standards are listed in blue for each lesson, and again, tested skills are identified by the check mark. The weekly planner lists all the reteaching specifically for that specific week to make progress monitoring easy to follow. Let's now walk through a week of instruction and point out where assessment opportunities are found in the teacher's instruction. In the unit launch, the Activate Prior Knowledge can be used as an observation tool. In the teacher wrap of the Teacher's Edition, there are multiple check and reteach brief lessons to help teachers see if students are mastering the content and also how to differentiate the lessons to fit your class. Remember, the red check marks are tested skills that will be on an upcoming assessment in kindergarten. Objectives, program resources, and Common Core standards are stated each day and also include the skills tested on these upcoming assessments. Day 5 is an opportunity to review and apply the skills that have been taught in days 1 through 4. Students will have a chance to review vocabulary and the key words that have been taught in that week, a comprehension reading skill with academic talk, and also the foundational skills, including phonological awareness, phonics, and high-frequency words. In the small group reading section, assessment masters are included. A leveled reading observation log is found on day 2. Keep in mind that the same reading strategy is taught and practiced during the whole group and small group reading times. And on day 5, you'll find a routine for conducting conferences. These conferences are important for assessing how each student is doing during small group reading time. The pages that follow the small group reading routines provide teaching resources for each of the leveled readers. For each reader, you have an overview of the book, a summary of the text, a preview, building comprehension questions, and also writing options. After the instruction in week 4 is a unit assessment. Remember, you have seen the checks for tested skills on the unit Skills at a Glance spread and also the weekly planner, along with the daily instruction objectives. Those same check marks are found here. The assessment and reteaching section provides teachers with all of the assessment tools needed to monitor students' progress and also give formative assessment. You'll see here the foundational skills assessment, the reading assessment, reports for reteaching and practicing, and also the leveled reading observation log. Other opportunities for formative assessments could also include discussions, graphic organizers, and also writing in kindergarten. And these assessments are also found online. After using the results of the unit test to determine your students' needs, reteaching activities support students who need additional help in learning skills. These reteaching activities are found on the blue planning pages before the weekly instruction, following the learning station activities in kindergarten. And the unit wrap-up. The unit wrap-up brings students back to the big question as they share their ideas. This includes a variety of ways for students to show their learning from that specific unit. And activities for extending the unit, both at home and at school, are also part of the unit wrap-up. Now let's take a look at the online companion website at www.mygconnect.com. After logging in to the home page of MyNG click on the resource directory to access all the assessment materials. Click on the unit of study. Click Assessment Masters for the unit assessments, which will include the Foundational Skills Test, a script for administering these unit tests, the Unit Comprehension Test, student and class profiles and answer keys, a Strengths and Needs Summary, and the Unit Oral Language Project rubric. Below Unit 9, click Additional Assessment Resources to find the Placement Test, the Affective and Metacognitive Measures, and the Leveled Reading Assessment. Click below to access the benchmark tests. Our learning goals for today included understanding the assessment best practices and research, examining the various assessments found in Reach for Reading, recognizing how each Reach for Reading assessment monitors students' progress and informs instruction, and looking at the digital assessment resources for both teachers and students. Thank you for joining me for this Reach for Reading Kindergarten Assessment module. I'm Denise Detmar, National Educational Consultant for National Geographic Learning, and I hope you have gleaned some valuable assessment training for our session today. Go back to the professional development link to find more on-demand training modules that will fit your kindergarten instruction.